What's up, everyone? It's me, Odio, and I'm dressed up today to do a spooky review for you. It's Hellboy, the Crooked Man for 2024. Is it scary? Is it awesome? Let's get into it. So yeah, I used to read some of the old Hellboy comics back in the day. They were kind of dark and scary. I own both of the movies for Guillermo del Toro's 2004 and 2008 Hellboy and Hellboy 2. They're not quite as dark as the old comic. They're more like an action movie. Lots of different interesting elements in them, though. But they're great. I still enjoy them. I did not like the 2019 one with David Harbour as much. But, you know, this one here, a whole new swing at it. It's not going to be Ron Perlman or David Harbour. Now we got Jack Kessie, I think his name is. And it's a totally different storyline. And this is from a much smaller studio. You can tell they don't have the budgets of the other guys. But what they do have is an R rating. And they can go for some things that the other ones just couldn't do. One of the biggest differences is the imagery this one uses is a lot darker, more gorier, scary looking, more blood, and just like visceral images that are kind of like trying to, you know, frighten you or scare you or set a different tone. It starts off really cool with a nice train fight. Hellboy and his partner, Bobby Joe. This is a long time before, so Liz isn't there. Bobby Joe's an okay replacement for Liz. She's working with the agency, helping them solve some, you know, paranormal problems. There's a really cool fight scene with a snake right at the beginning. And like I said, the CGI, they obviously don't have the biggest budget, but it's rated R. You get some murders right away, some cool action, blood flying, Hellboy coming in, shooting off limbs, punching things, flying off a train. Cool. I was like, all right, I'm into this, man. This is going to be a good Hellboy. And then after they get thrown from the train, him and Bobby Joe, they go to like, I guess you can call it a community in the woods. So they end up finding and going into this old rickety town with a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe to the whole area. And when they get there, they meet a man named Tom, who apparently likes hooking up with witches. I don't know if he knew this or not, but the whole town has a witch problem. There's evil witches that are stealing the young girls and stuff like that. There's a creepy witch skin where this witch can like inflate it and come back out of it. Really dark looking. As they go through the town, you learn Tom is trying to come back and kind of correct what he did wrong. The Crooked Man, who is sort of like, you know, the devil, a satanic sort of symbol guy, but also it's a comic book, so he's real. He's just like walking around, doing bad things, making bad things happen. And Tom remembers seeing him from a long time ago. There's a whole thing about a finger bone. Does it bring luck? Does it not bring luck? And that's kind of the mystery they're there to solve. You get some really cool moments. There's an awesome fight at one part where Hellboy is having to deal with this snake who's biting this girl. It's a giant snake coiling around her. He's trying to shoot it. She's trying to get free. And Bobby Joe's watching like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, it's nuts. They have some really cool parts. They go explore an old church and things. There's an underground to the church. There's all these coal mines running through the whole town. They're calling them ley lines. And it's a very, you know, it's a cool story. If you read the old comics, I think you'll like it. You'll appreciate it. I like the darker tone. I definitely think they went for it and they stuck it. They stayed with it the whole time. They never backed off. They kept making sure everything was pretty gruesome and in your face. Like I said, they didn't have the best budget for the CGI. Like the opening spider fight was cool and the snake was pretty cool. But as you get later into the movie, when you get into the Crooked Man stuff, they didn't seem to have as many big, you know, like fight scenes and things like that. But it's nice seeing him and Bobby Joe interact. They have a nice little personality that they kind of work together. They're not in love or anything like him and Liz, so it's a nice dynamic. This Tom guy is trying to redeem himself for, like, I don't know, making the witches because he, like, ruined their lives. The witches kind of regret what they're doing. The Crooked Man is sort of corrupting this town. There's a couple other people you meet in the town. Pretty interesting. Kind of feels more like an episode of a TV show like Twilight Zone or something, but Hellboy's there, and every now and then he'll come in. The Hellboy guy does a pretty good job. Ron Perlman, I still think is the definitive guy. Although I really do like the Hellboy animated series, those two movies. They're really good too. I didn't like David Harbour, but Jack does a pretty good job. By the end of it, I felt like he was Hellboy. The fights are pretty good. He's, you know, chewing on the cigar. He's got that low, gravelly, like, well, let's get this done. Let me get Big Mama. Like, he's got that tone. It works. You're fine with that. It doesn't really drag the movie down. But there is a lot that does drag the movie down. The pacing on the movie is one of the, it's not that long a movie, but it feels pretty long. There are long stretches where nothing happens. They're having conversations with the townsfolk, this person's mother, trying to figure out Tom's background with this witch or that witch. When did the Crooked Man come? What's his influence and things like that. it's a bit boring, and I get it. They didn't have a huge budget. They can't have an action fight scene every couple of minutes. But you know, the old Hellboy comics had quite a bit of action, and so did the other movies. Not every couple of minutes, but you know, just this was a bit of a slog. Some of the actors are okay, like the girl playing Bobby Joe and Hellboy are good. The guy that plays Tom is all right. Most of the other people I didn't really like. There's a witch, Leah McNamara, I believe, plays her. I didn't really. She just came off as creepy. I will say the witches in this, they're pretty scary looking. They twist themselves over. They turn into other animals. Like I said, there's one that has like a skin suit they go in and out of and things. So they definitely give you a creepy, dark vibe. But I didn't really care about them. They didn't really come off as more. I don't know. They were gross looking and stuff, and they definitely were doing scary things. But once you get to the point where you're in a church and you see the witches are outside the church, there's a guy, a priest. He comes in later on in the movie. His character's great. I really enjoyed him. He wasn't around for a lot of the movie, but he was cool to see. And like I said, the big final showdown is pretty good. You get what you want. It's the Crooked Man isn't someone who can stand up and go toe to toe with Hellboy, right? So you're not going to get that kind of scene, but you do get a nice fight. You get a nice conclusion. There's a nice little mystery for you to figure out. There's like, I wouldn't say a murder mystery because it's more like a witch supernatural type. What the heck's going on in this town type mystery? But yeah, it was good. Pretty interesting overall. The only other really big thing I think to mention is like there was a lot with Hellboy's mom. Like, the Crooked Man can get into his mind and make him see things. He was doing that to other people, and, like, it was just weird. And they would go on for long stretches. Too long. There were too many stretches where it's just too long. You're waiting for something interesting to happen, and it just doesn't really come. But you do get some really good moments. And, hey, it's more Hellboy. I'm a big Hellboy fan, so 4 movies and the 2 animated ones, whatever. I don't know if they're going to do more of these. See how it does. Probably not that good, though. I don't think the word about it has been that good. But, hey, they took a swing. It was mostly a miss, but I think they do hit a lot of good Hellboy parts, and I had a good time watching it. I wasn't disappointed too bad. I would probably give it a 6.5 on the odometer. Not the best time out, but still pretty good time out at the movie theater if you're looking for something to do. Just need to work on the pacing and have a little bit more action. But overall, not too bad. And thanks so much for watching this far, guys. I really appreciate that. Please like, share, subscribe to the video. Let me know what you thought of Hellboy down in the comments. I really appreciate that. And remember, everybody, stay out of trouble.